Hello, this is Hyde in the Philippines. I'm currently at By God Lagoon Beach in Bantayan Island. This story is about coincidence or divine intervention. I'm going to let you decide. It's going to be up to you. I've already made my choice on it. About 4 weeks ago, I decided I wanted to go to Toledo. And that's not Toledo, Ohio, which I live 30 miles from Toledo, Ohio. But here in the Philippines, they have a place called Toledo as well. And it's up in the mountains. And I have an affinity for the mountains. I love to be in the mountains. Every time I see mountains, I want to go up into them and see where they are, what they're about, and just get the general feel of it. So I got on my little scooter, and it was 51 miles to Toledo from Lapu-Lapu City. And I putzed all the way. I went across the Cecil X Bridge. I made a left, went past SMC side, and headed to the mountains. So I was driving, and it's beautiful up there. As soon as you make the right-hand turn to go up into the mountains, you leave the city behind, and there's no traffic anymore. And all the pollution and all the trucks and traffic and the madness, it's just gone, just with a right-hand turn. So up the mountains I go, and it's like 27 miles from that right turn up into the mountains to Toledo. So I head up that way, and I get up there to Toledo, and I pass by so many beautiful things on the way up. And I get up there, and it's a city up in the mountains. It's not like Lapu Lapu, but it's still a city. It's traffic, congestion. There's people everywhere. You can see the mountain to the right, to the left of you. And you can see, but it's a path through the mountains, but it's just citified. Cars, trucks, people, just the angst and the movement of the city. And I don't care for that. I came here for some peace and tranquility, and that's another reason I went up into the mountains was to experience that. And, just for the fun of it, to be in a different Toledo. I hear there's a Toledo, Spain. Well, if I was in Spain, I'd probably want to go there just to do a comparison. So I stopped at a little place called Kimmy's, great place to eat. Stopped in there and had a delightful meal and got on my bike afterwards. And, I'm going to head back down the mountains. I've seen what I needed to see. And I'm not going to knock Toledo because it's not a bad place. It's congested and it's a city. And I'm a country boy now. I've been living in the country for quite some time. And I don't like all the busyness and madness of the city. You can have it. Some people crave it, because it's exciting. And, I'm at a time in my life where I like peace and tranquility. I just want to chill. I don't like being nervous or anxietous anymore. So I started heading down the mountain, and I'm going slow because I want to soak it in. I want to see all the things there is to see. And I saw just people washing their clothes in the river or a runoff stream. I mean, basically beating their clothes on a rock. I mean, it's not that primitive, but it's really close. People washing their motorcycles in a stream. Because that's the running water they have. I hear about all these off the grid livers. You come to the Philippines, and these people have been living off the grid for quite some time, and they know how to do it, and they do it correctly because they have no choice. But that's not really what this is about, this story. So I'm heading down the mountain, and I've been alone a long time. My wife has been dead this year in June, 25 years, so I've been alone. And I'm heading down the mountain, and I'm not a religious man by any means. If you bring up religion to me, I'll probably make fun of you for it because it's ritualistic and it's bastardized as far as I'm concerned. Why are the priests wearing robes while the paupers are dressed in rags? I don't understand that. Why are you passing a plate around? Why does God need money? Those are just my personal beliefs. I almost died 3 years ago, and I got life flighted. If you want to check, there's a video that has that story. But ever since then, I've had to question myself because that day I almost died. There's just too many coincidences that stacked up that I can't explain. If it's one thing, we just mark it up as coincidence and we move about our lives. But what happens when there's 5, 6, 7 things that happen that you cannot explain in any way, shape, or form, and it's happening to you, in real time. So once again, like I said, I'm not a religious man, so I'm heading down the mountain, and I start feeling emotional. Like I just get emotional. Something's overtaking me, and I feel it right now as I'm beginning to get to the meat of this story. I'm going down the mountain, and I say, for lack of a better term, I make a prayer. And this is exactly how it went. I was like, universe, if anybody's out there, and if anybody's listening, and I asked with my whole heart, like something I want it so bad. I was like, universe, if you're listening, if anybody's listening, I'd like to meet somebody. I'm so tired of being alone. I can't take it anymore. It's just burdensome, to always be alone. So I said, universe, if you're out there and you're listening, could you please send me somebody? I want to meet a girl. I want to meet the girl. And the other second part of that prayer was I said, and I know this is a Catholic nation. Everybody goes to church here. And I said, if you find me a girl here, if she wants to go to church, I'll go with her. I'll go with her. And that's my promise. And I'm wearing a helmet. And I got on my sunglasses, and I get myself to, I get my stuff together. And I had some tears running just like right now. I was just felt so emotional. I get my stuff together, and I go down the mountain 5 miles, and I start to get this thirst. I mean, I've had cottonmouth before, but this is beyond cottonmouth. I can't even explain to you. It felt like somebody had poured sand right in my throat, and I was so thirsty, just so thirsty, and I had to get something to drink. I had to get something to drink because I couldn't swallow anymore. Like so I go down the mountain and I started looking for a store, and there's sorry stores. It's basically a closet with this and that for sale, and they always got water, Coke. So I'm going down, and I see the sorry store on my right. I'm going a little too fast to stop right away, and I see this girl sitting there, and I pass by, and a voice in my head, my own voice, said, "Hey, turn around, asshole." There she is. So I just don't fight that feeling. I just didn't. I just didn't fight it, and I turn the bike around. I pull up, and I take off my helmet, and there's this pretty girl just sitting there. And I asked her, I said, "Excuse me, miss, do you sell Coke?" "Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we sell Coke." So I get a Coke, and she's sitting at a table. And I said, "Do you mind if I sit down?" And she goes, "No, sir, please sit down. Enjoy your Coke." So I sit down, and I drink my Coke. And I started asking this girl some questions, just being, mannerly. How are you? Where are you from? And, she starts telling me about herself, and I just keep getting this warm feeling, like, like, that emotion that I was telling you about. I feel it right now. That I'm supposed to be sitting here. This is the girl I'm supposed to be talking to. Now, not all prayers are answered, and because people are, I don't know, they ask for stupid things when they pray. In my opinion, lottery, these type of things. And not all prayers go answered, because, when my wife was dying, I spent countless hours on my knees begging. to not let this woman go because I didn't want to raise these boys on my own. I don't want to be alone. But that wasn't the plan. So I spent the next 3 hours talking to this girl, man. Just she's not a girl, she's a grown woman. I just and just the more I talked to her, the better it was. The vibe was just so cool, and I just felt so natural. Like this is something, you know. This is something, and I've achieved. I think I've stumbled onto something. So I I asked her if I could come back and see her the next day, and she said like if you want to, and I was like I want to, I really want to, and I came back and saw her the next day, and then I had something to do the day after that, but then the day after that I was right back up there, and it's an hour drive from where I live to where she's at. You know, we've been seeing each other ever since. I mean, we can't be apart. And she's a good girl, man, a province girl. That's what all these foreigners they want. They don't want a city girl because a lot of city girls are sharks. It's part of the game. They know it's part of the game. Get a foreigner, but this girl has just been nothing but kind. And when we go out, she isn't staring at her phone. She's looking at me, looking at her. And we just vibe together in such a beautiful way. So like I said, I was given something or directed to something. I'm not going to try and explain it to you, and I'm not trying to fight that at all. I'm just accepting it for what it is, and I'm just openly grateful. So one of the things I'm going to tell you about is the first place she wanted to go with me was to church to go light some candles. Let that sink in. I said my prayer and said I would go to church. So the very first thing is she wanted to go to church to light some candles. There's 7 people in her family. She lit 8 candles, 1 for me. Nobody's lit a candle ever for me, ever. I know some people have wished I'd burn in hell. I lit 1 candle myself. I just put my finger on it, and all I said was thank you. I don't, I'm not questioning. You can give it whatever name you want to give it, and I don't care. And I haven't asked for anything else because I think I'm in abundance right now, and to ask for anything more would be selfish. So I don't know. You can be the judge on that. Leave the comments if you want. Maybe you think I'm foolish. I don't really care anymore what people think of me. It's what I think of me, and I think I've achieved and I've scored, man. I hit the lottery. Okay, that's the end of my little story. I hope you stayed to the end. This is hiding in the Philippines. And isn't it just weird that the lagoon we're at today is called By God? I didn't name it. It's been the name of this place forever. So, coincidence? Sure, why not? You can call it that. Divine intervention? Maybe. Just maybe.